So I have one more question for you to wrap this kind of up. And I want to talk about JJ McCarthy, and I know it's early, but JJ McCarthy and Cade McNamara. Now, and I know that there's, people did this with Joe Milton, and I know people, and Shea Patterson, I'm not going to say that Shea Patterson is the same as Cade McNamara. At first, I was very confident that he was, but Shea Patterson broke records at Michigan because Michigan's offense was built for him. It relied on him. It was built around him. And right. Shea Patterson was able to thrive under it. Does that mean that Shea Patterson is a great quarterback? Of course not. He overthrew receivers consistently. I was watching I think I've told you this before, but I was watching him in the Senior Bowl, and there was two receivers running both layered routes. I don't know how, whatever. So he was running layered routes. One receiver's running under, one receiver's running over. Well, he overthrows the one dude, and the dude's sitting 10 yards behind him. And it would have been easier for him to just throw it to the dude instead of overthrowing him. He overshot him. It's an easy interception. And just that sort of stuff happens. It's exactly why he was never drafted and got cut from Kansas City. Just stupid stuff like that. But anyway, not to go on that rant. But so I'm kind of skeptical all the time nowadays, or more hyper aware of when people are hyping up the backup to be better than the starter. Because when the starter is out there, there's usually a reason. And obviously this year it was experience, right? Like JJ's very raw, and like that's sort of the thing, right? And so it's more mistake heavy, obviously like most freshmen are. Even CJ Stroud being a redshirt freshman is not in his, and I would say that Stroud has a higher ceiling than McCarthy. But we don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's hard to say because now we've seen what Stroud can do.
Well, exactly. And again, we don't know what McCarthy is. We don't know. But so
he is an unproven talent,
right?
Like,
what we want to know,
he's potential. That's all he is.
So what I want to know though is what do you do with them? Because you know what I mean? Because at this point, if I'm JJ McCarthy, I go to Jim Harbaugh and I say, give me the job or I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm leaving because it's just not worth it to me because
he's trying to go to the NFL.
Well, exactly. Absolutely. 100%. He's an unbelievable talent, and we know he is.
He's trying to create draft stock.
But
for him, it's sophomore year. It's time to start getting name on the board and then, be gone junior year.
So if I were
want to be a first round pick.
If I were Jim Harbaugh, do you know what I would have done? I would have just, would this not have made more sense for you to just redshirt, and I don't know if Cade McNamara would have declared for the draft after his junior year. Because he's a junior, right? He would be going into his sophomore year. If
he's going into his senior year this year. Yeah.
So, right. So. Senior year. I'm sorry. I messed that up. But so he's going into his senior year. And would he not, he would have had more, I guess, and I don't know, because they kind of put their offense around the run game, right? But and I don't know that he would have declared for the draft, but I would have just redshirted JJ, and you could have still played him in the important games, like the games against Michigan State, or the games against Ohio State, and because I think 4 games that he can play in, but. And then just redshirt him this year, which you couldn't have done, and then play him in his sophomore year, whatever. I don't know if you want to do the carousel then or whatever, but I just don't understand why you don't do what, say, Michigan State did in their offense, where Peyton Thorne has several confident plays that he can go in big situations and improve the red zone offense, because that's always been the way they explained to me, is that JJ is here to improve the offense in the red zone. And I'm like, why? Because you can't pass the ball in the red zone? What are you here for? I saw Michigan go I can't remember the stat, but it was 1 for 4 or something like that in the red zone against Michigan State. And so Michigan gets the ball in the red zone and they can't score, right? But then JJ gets the ball on a 3rd down and goes to Andrell Anthony in the red zone, and it's a huge catch score. It's their only red zone TD of the game. And so, I'm just wondering why you can't just make your offense better in the red zone. Like, you should not need two quarterbacks to score in the red zone. I mean, maybe against a tough team in a certain situation or something, maybe you run wildcat or something, screw up the defense, but it's just not, I guess, like, I just don't understand the point of keeping both quarterbacks as they are.